I am learning the value of starting soon or a be right back. And I'm going to turn the volume down on the music here. I have a task to I want to be able to control this app's audio. A little narrower. How narrow can you go? That gets the job done. I don't really need all this other stuff. I've got definitely some space down here. When I go full width like that. Bam. I was also working on the starting soon. I can put that in the note in the goals. Starting soon. I have this song on loop. And maybe not a scene. I've been in the past like individual scenes is what I've been doing. For this behind the scenes, I'm actually almost working exclusively inside of one scene. I have a closer, but maybe I can just overlay on top the starting soon. I was saying starting off, I'm learning the value of the starting soon. And my voice might be competing, so let me lower the volume of this. I think 20 is gonna be pretty low, but I wonder if, as reviewing the stream here, background, I was reviewing the stream. Going through here and listening to the different audio levels to see what it's like. At 100%, what I can do is I go through here and search the transcript for like note to self. Sometimes it splits. I think I saw it do it. If I just do a note, there are 20 notes. Notes, take notes, notes. Yeah, hashtag. Also was another search if I did hashtag. Then I can go back later and I have AI process this and summarize it. And I wonder if in my prompt I could say look for a lot of stuff, a lot of distractions. But it's fun. I find it fun and good. Where would I have that? I have it here, inside of a transcripts repo, and I even can bring it up in GitHub. I don't know what that is, but 9 versus 9 transcripts. It's a public repo, kind of long file names. I might change the file names. And I may change how I organize this. This was written by hand. I could have an AI with Codex. I can probably prompt Codex to keep this thing up to date. If there was an MCP for ChatGPT, talking through Codex uses my tokens, and I wonder if I could have Codex talk to ChatGPT, which won't use up my tokens and my quota. So hashtag, I could try this by saying hashtag idea or something like that. I haven't quite got a system up, but when the AI crawls through, I have this prompt where I hand it the file. What would be the window for that? This one. Where if I do ChatGPT, yeah, it's probably a whole bunch of stuff here. I can redact and make sure, and I'm going to make sure that redacting's working. I don't think there's anything too much in here that I care about. So here's stream summaries, where I will attach the file. There's a plugin, and somebody tell me if I'm doing something weird here. If I go to my video, which is this one, I've found a plugin. I've got enough plugins, I'm not going to pin it. But all it does is it finds the transcript window and copies it to clipboard or downloads it. So if I download it with no real decorations except for timestamps, and then hand it to the so then I bring it into my transcripts folder, and let me document that process. Here's the process. Sometimes that doesn't work. So if I view that, it's in this. I've just changed the title of this to process. And I haven't reviewed the markdown to see if this looks okay. That, preview, close you. Select video transcripts from Night vs. Night. I don't quite have a great system here yet, but I have the skeleton of a okay system. Sometimes that messes up. When that happens, sometimes copy to transcript. We're gonna make that blue. I don't know why you made that blue. I don't need to loop this song anymore. I can turn off loop. A hotkey for loop. Interesting. Let me put into you. Create a GitHub issue to have hotkey or Stream Deck control for toggling loop, random. That's about it. Loop, random, pause, previous. I've already got pause, previous, next. I've already got an issue for the volume slider. I could do them all at once. I've got that. I could also just say, find the GitHub issue. This is just kind of freeform. I'm experimenting here with freeform. Natural language, the scattering of thoughts out there to just let an AI do the work for me. So find the GitHub issue related to controlling the volume, the app volume, music volume with hotkey Stream Deck, and add to it the ability to control/toggle, loop, random. I think that's about all. Seek forward, backwards, yeah. hotkey seek. That could be if I just want to in the background hit the player. Seek. fast forward, rewind. What do I do? 5 seconds? 40. Oh, here we go. Turn off the loop. 5 seconds. Don't there's anything else. The visual. I don't really care about needing to hotkey that. Toggling this is the new UI that's going to go off and show here. It's not working yet. Still in process. I was wondering about the song. I'm now running the player in order to get this audio output device working. You can't host it from a local file. You have to host it from localhost. And I was ready for it when I did it, that I've said it several times in the stream, that all of my star ratings are just practice, and I'm not at all let down that I lost it when I moved to localhost, because I'm gonna move to a standalone app anyway. Anything else in here that I want to automate? I don't think so. Star rating? I think I had star ratings. Can I hotkey stars? There we go. Loop random ratings. I think that's a good prompt. I've got another one here. We'll see how this works. Now I can go off on the side and kind of verify these. I know that it's yeah, that's the volume track. It's this one. Yeah, so I just added this. Updated issue to broaden the scope to cover tasks, audit current volume track handling, research APS OS, prototype, it should say edits, yeah, most recent, just did it. So that's pretty cool that I could just kind of naturally ask it to do that. I've got another issue that I've noticed. Hopefully I'm not competing with the audio. I'm kind of competing in my own head with the music. In my head, the music is a distraction. And hashtag, note to self, I wonder if the in-stream audio music is how it's competing with my voice right now. This song is fun and bright and jumpy, but I'm not really that into it. I find this song a little on the lesser side. It's probably got some purpose and point in the game, but I find this song a little distracting.
Skip Not on My Watch by Arthur Riley. Now playing Mysterious Green Fluid by White Bat.
There's something a little more background, a little not quite so in your face about what's going on. Another issue that I've noticed here is now that I took out all of the, if I hover over this one, let me also check about the status of the code. I've got one change, I got this, so I can hop back to main and work on a couple of things outside of this Copilot support ticket. So let me switch to main. And there's two little nitpicks. I had a ticket that I worked on yesterday, which was closed. Display the short track. When I did this, great. It freed up a bunch of there we go, player. It freed up a bunch of space, and I said that I'll clean up the layout. Mostly I meant this area, the now playing area. This area is kind of now large, big vacant space. I could scrunch all this up into one line, and then ellipse. The only thing that's really going to be large is the title, and that's nowadays not even really very large. And then I can just ellipse if it's in here. So I can scrunch this up, shrinks there's no reason now playing font needs to be that big anymore. I clean that up. But the thing I noticed, I did two things. I think I instructed it to use the hover text. Keep the hover text while keeping the full file name available on hover. Well, when it implemented it, it kept it over here. So there's that. That's fine. I like that it has that metadata in there, that it says it's a horror synth, dark, so that sort of stuff. The Uth O'Reilly ones are a little more categorized. He'll say powerful, emotional versus epic. This is epic there. Epic music. It's all epic music. Some of these, he changes the prefix. He goes into some. I'm not going to really spend too much time trying to find it. But he does these in the title. It's kind of verbose. I like that it's there. But what I also meant was for it to be over here. So that's one thing, is the hover tip needs to be on this. The second problem, the slightly bigger problem, is now it's not alphabetical. This one happened to be, it just happens to be alphabetical because of the way that Uth O'Reilly had prefixed everything. It's always Uth O'Reilly, Indistinguishable Magic. He's always has the title at the beginning, so that's fine. These are all alphabetical. These are not, because White Bat Audio puts they put like the description at the beginning. So this is like 80s sci-fi horror, so that's why it's at the top of the list. So I want to add two more tasks, which is create a GitHub issue to show the, and let me see where that in that code, the hover tip on the list. Here's the player. I want to split this into files. To do split into .css and .js file. It's getting, I've known it's getting quite unruly, but I want to go to the.
That was Mysterious Green Fluid by White Bat Audio. Now playing.
That's the history.
Leap of Faith by Arthur Riley.
There's the now. That's the playlist, the volume, the visualizer, the list. So he just has the playlist, and then the playlist is built dynamically. So the list is I just want to get the element for the list, list element. Where they get the hover text, so that the track name, now title, that's the now title. Wrapper, div, render list, and so this is where render track leaf, render director node, render track leaf. There we go. This is where it renders the track leaf, and those are the ratings. Put that in first. The name, display name, build announcement detail. I'm curious. I'm doing this to explore the code and not just be this complete unknown to me. Distraction. I wanted to make sure that all of the, this is the content creator. title. Interesting. But it didn't put it in only general chat, did it? Okay, that one's completely vacant. The other day yesterday, I said it should no longer show up. I'd only moved the YouTube. I didn't move the kick. This is the kick link. And this is the Twitch link. Here, the title, coding. Be on that title. And it kept that, like, why? Why did you keep that? I didn't ask you to do any of that. This is from the previous, this is from editing the previous. Am I using YouTube wrong? Probably. And I hope that didn't mess up the other one. That one left that one alone, so this one's good. I suspect you're supposed to create a fresh stream ID every time, but I'm not. Jumping all over the place here. Hashtag note to self, chatbot, ChatGPT, psychoanalyze my randomness in this stream and give me some psychological counseling to be more focused. Don't need that. Don't need that. I was looking for where it does this, the metadata, where it gets that raw. Fallback artist raw. I want the title raw. Normalize spaces title raw. It's the hover.
That was Leap of Faith. Now playing. Legend has it.
I could also look at it inside of this and see the hover text, the title, title, data index 50, the title. There's nothing else. Rating, star, legend has it. With a writer, legend has it. So it's the title. But it's just the title element of the data index. Is there a data index? Title's going to be in here a lot. Turn title. Title artist summary. Okay, it takes the title. It's used in several places. Announcement, actual detail. This is where it does it. Details. It's making a div. The class name is name element. This is the track leaf. The div item, class name, item track item. Here we go. class name, dataset index. There's the data set dot index is data. The role is a button. The title row. This is relative. Yeah. And then that's what. So that's only on the prompt. I don't have to get too specific. I can not try to be the expert. I can try to just be a layman and just say, do the magic, do your magic. But I feel an obligation to have some understanding of what's going on inside of here when I write this prompt. Create a GitHub issue to show the raw file name of the file name in now.
That was Legend Has It by Arthur Riley. Now playing Bloodlust by White Bat Audio.
To add a hover tip. Create a GitHub issue to add a hover tip to the now playing song track title. That shows the raw file name similar in the same way that the playlist shows the raw file name when you hover over a track, a song track slash track. I don't know how its terminology is. Should I give it any detail? I went in there to find out how it works myself. Do I tell it the data index do I copy and paste this node? Example. I think I want that whole thing, but if I paste this. Sure, it's a computer, it should be able to figure that out. We'll see what it does there. That's the now playing hover tip, and then the other one to fix. Sorry. The other one to fix is the sorting order. GitHub.
That was Bloodlust. Now playing Darkness Awaits.
Right, I just want to, I can go switch out here and see what it wrote. I'm still hand holding. Yeah, show raw file name tooltip on now playing title. So I could send, hopefully these things, if they're discrete enough, I can send Copilot off to just kind of work that, and then review them, and then merge them, and things work good. The other one is this to sort the items in the playlist by their announced. To sort the track, sort the playlist, song slash tracks by their announced name. Create a GitHub issue to sort playlist songs slash tracks. I don't know how it prefers nomenclature on that. By their announced name, which that would fix the issue here where it's very hard to find. I was looking for a very specific song, and in the white bat, and I couldn't find it because they're not in alphabetical order. They're in this cyberpunk, free 80s. I don't want them sorted by their kind of weird meta prefix. I want them sorted by the announced, which is going to be the displayed. By their announced. And then I got another one. Create a GitHub issue to clean up the now playing artist track number artist track clean up the main.
That was Darkness Awaits by White Bat Audio. Now playing Black
Now that
by Arthur
the
Riley.
Title. Now that the titles are shorter and opened up a lot of empty space. And created slash opened up a lot of undesirable so then I could have it kind of clean that up so that I don't have to definitely struggle with CSS layout, and that seems to be something that AI can handle quite well. I'm pretty glad that AI can do CSS layout pretty well, so that I don't have to mess with it. Let's see. So here's where this is the live. This is gonna take me to the. I don't want to do that. I want to see the this live. Yeah. And this is all gonna be. Oh hey, I've got people on Kick. Look at that. Hello people on Kick. Hello actual live human people, non bot. Human people on kick. Music keeps cutting into your talking as loud as... Alright, so here's some human feedback. Yeah. Some of this is junk. I think Harmony is a bot. I think Pinux is a bot. Blue Saber might actually be a legit person. Is there a timestamp on this? There's no timestamp. Is there a way to view timestamps? Pop out the chat. What I'd like to do is put these in tabs. This is getting into the chat stuff. I have a very specific way of working the chat. Yeah, you're a bot. That full of backup is. Hey, have you posted on the Kick Fam? Music to
That was Black Hole Merger by Arthur O'Reilly.
So
Now playing
Buttercup.
Darkness Awaits by White Bat Audio.
And Blue Saber. Starting soon, I could lower that. Before I hit enter, that is not a true statement. Let me come over to the general and move that down. And the starting soon is low priority, so I have no problem moving that down. Buttercup is, I think, real. Blue Saber, I think, is real. I missed them. It was probably yesterday. I don't have a timestamp for this, and they obviously bailed out. Like now you're talking about the music is up too loud. There is a bug, there's a flaw, and I'd like to fix that. And let me check Twitch while I'm at it. No one's chatting on Twitch, which is, this is a pop out. Okay. So I know how to pop out those 3 chats. I have an app on my Windows, and I was thinking of writing, I have the code here, and I scattered all over the place. Again, repeating, hashtag note-to-self, chatbot. How can I keep a more linear focused thought when I just literally am running into so many distractions? There's just so much to keep track of. I have this, right now I'm calling it OBS Tray Guard, but it's basically a Qt application. There's a main, and it's a tray app that runs up in the tray, and it's just a tray app, very small, well, not so small here, you can just look at the H. Does it have actually any methods? These are the actions from the icon itself. It creates the menu that'll do those things. This was created by AI, and it's just kind of a brainstorm of an idea. I have done this on Windows. I have my Windows agent that I do on my game streaming, On my game PC, I have Windows and Windows. I could rewrite those in Qt, but man, that's going to be, I could rewrite them in Qt. They do a lot of stuff, but all they really do is
That
just
was
interact with
Darkness
USB.
Awaits.
There's
Now
nothing that
playing.
it's
Memories of a
written
Murder.
in .NET, C#. I don't think there's anything that those Windows apps do in .NET that I couldn't write in Qt. I'm okay. I would say I'm decent at Qt. And so I was I have had variations of that NvK agent. That one of them was a systray application that I could pull up, and in it were the 3 panes of chat. And this was back in when Mixer was a thing. When I wrote this, and I had a column for the YouTube chat, a column for the Mixer chat, and a column for the Twitch chat, and I could see them all. And what I should also have done is added Discord in, so that I could have so I can see them all there side by side. This integrated stuff on the chat, I have here as a note to, I liked the note on the, right side, so that people viewing along at home, because I talk to this, I highlight this stuff. I'll come over here and I'll highlight the text, but it doesn't get highlighted in the actual stream. So usually if I'm highlighting, then I'm showing OBS, so I guess I'm just kind of being too particular there. But let me bold this to be in stream chat. Like, I know that that's high priority. I want to get that in so that I can see when people chat with me. So now I'm kind of like, aw, I had humans actually chatting with me. That's exciting. Thanks. So, thank you, Buttercup and Blue Saber, wherever you are, whoever you are. I'm call it a loss. Lesson learned. I'm working on, and I'll get there on the chat, and I should probably stop focusing on the music app and do that. Hopefully the audio, here it is. Right. Feedback from the chat was that, see, it's not canceling. Is it? If I talk, it drops. But if I talk, see, it still did. And if I talk now and it's not going up, and now I'm talking and it's going up, so it's not doing it while it's fading. So while it's going up, it's not actually going back down. And so it hasn't within the last second. And so it's not going down. That's where this is latched high and the music is too loud, and that's what they were complaining about. So what can I do right now? I'm basically just keeping talking. As I'm talking right now, it's evaluating true, but it's not actually triggering on change. Perform it always. Perform action only on
That was
condition
Memories
change.
of a Murder.
What if I were to do this and just there?
Now playing. Reawakening by Arthur Riley.
And I can do this right now, but it's, yeah. But it's on its way up, and how can I cancel the up? I've done this before. I've seen this before in the game stream. It only does it when it's on its way up, and it's evaluating true, and it's keeping it down. But if I start talking on its way up, it just pops down. So that's at least it heals itself. But how can I make it better? So if the desired mic, which is this headset mic, that part's working fine. within the last 3 seconds, then do that. Else, if it's not within the last second, for at most, for exactly, for at least. This is what made the difference, was the within the last. In previous streams, I used to have it just kind of for at least, but the within the last seemed to make the difference for at least 3 seconds, and the big difference with I've been talking for the past 3 seconds, for exactly, for at most. I think within the last is what I want. But here, if I'm talking, it's not canceling. If I made them separate, I wonder if that would make the difference. If I duplicate you and turn you off, and then call you mic audio duck, all the other audio up, rename. This is ducks all other audio. Silence, rename, mic silence, restores. I made them separate. So if that is that, and it's within the last and not, then copy, remove, paste, remove. Let me remove you. So I have no else. I have no else. I only have these two, and that might simplify this so that I don't have that bug. At least I'm able to repro it pretty easily, so I'm going to enable this. And see, look, it's competing. But if I talk, it goes back down. And if I talk it, yeah, okay, so there it comes down. Now it's keeping it floored. And if I talk, it comes down. And then maybe I could do performance on chain. I think this makes it a little more efficient. Only on change. And if I talk, it comes down. If I talk, it comes down. And if I don't talk, it comes up. So I think that's an improvement. So at least with having humans in the chat. Let's see if I can find them again. How do my music and voice audio levels sound now? Might as well just put that in here. And might as well put it in here. All right. And let me get the chat in stream. But the reason I'm delaying the chat is there's a specific particular way that I want. I'm pretty. I think this is gonna be good. I think that might have fixed that. Let me go to the notes and say what I've done is I think what I just did nailed, fixed slash nailed, fixed, nailed the mic ducking problem. That one I need to, all these lessons that I've learned on this behind the scenes stream, I need to apply to my game stream, my actual game stream.
That was Night of the Creeps by White Bat Audio.
The catch
Now
is,
playing
it's normally on
by
Friday,
O'Reilly.
and this Friday is Halloween, so I'm probably not going to game as I'm out with the kids. Let me go get, I'm at 30% battery. Let me go get my charger. I'm practice. Be right back. All right. It's not going. Oh, there's. If I wasn't loud enough right there. And that would be if my that one I can control the decibel level, and I should make that a variable of the decibel level. If I add talking threshold, mic talking threshold, and I'll probably call it negative 12. I forget if it was negative 12, 18, something like that. Set to, we'll save the variable value. 28, because I want these to be the same. 28, 28. So set you to 28, negative 28. And you, I'm going to set you to be threshold. And that's good. Set you to be threshold. It's a desired mic at how do I say mic desired? Can I rename you? Mic desired. Mic audio duck all other audios, mic silence restore, mic talking, mic audio, not mic non-silence, whatever.
That was Ember by O'Reilly. Now playing.
Here's my
Silver
badass.
Shamrock
I just
by
think
White Bat
I think
Audio.
this song's pretty cool. Mic desired. And use mic desired. Oh, that was another thing I was gonna do on all this stuff, like hashtag, note to self, chatbot, another distraction. That How can, I mean, just distraction, distraction, tangent, tangent. Sure, I'm getting stuff up and running, and there's kind of like a lot of bases to cover, and maybe things will stabilize. I can actually simplify this step. I can remove this by basically coming into Elgato, and on my profiles, what was I gonna do? I was gonna have this mic headset be what I can change by having separate columns. So if I had a profile, it's what this that I want to have a whole separate profile for the lapel mic, if I'm using the lapel mic. This mic, I'm not convinced as I listen to the audio. I have it as a to-do to compare the ABC test the microphones. Test. Compare. Come on. Compare lapel, headset, earbud, microphones. So I do want to do that. Just to if the I'm using these because the sound sounds better, obviously on earphones. It's not great. Yesterday I was almost here. I guess the sound might be so. These headphones might be so good that I can actually hear the inferior MP3 quality. And while I'm talking about it and getting all these distractions, what if I were to come into the media and look at this? So that is, that was that song number 3, I think, is this one right here, the one just played, Silver Shamrock. That one is what quality? It's 48 kilohertz. Does it show me the bit rate? No. Right click. Why is right click not working? Is weird file names that YouTube DLP brings in. If I copy you out, copy. Come on. And I put you here. What's seating up the CPU? Silver Shamrock. I could also, I want to basically put the metadata inside. I want to keep the metadata. I didn't realize it would complicate accessing the file by leaving the YouTube DLP file name default in there. But now this one I can right click. So I don't know what was going on with that other stuff. Maybe it's trying to find metadata on all those files. Info. Will you tell me the bit rate? You tell me the sample rate. How about I load you on Audacity then? Sure. launch Audacity. Can I never see you? Yeah, don't show startup. I want to check your bitrate is what I want to do. Wait a second. It's 4800? These are all horrible. Wait a second. I mean, I was looking at it as a sample rate, not the bit rate. Yeah, sample rate. That's not the bit rate. That's the sample rate. So how do I simply just see the bit rate of my MP3? Can I add a column for bit rate? Some things Windows does pretty well. Simple way on a Mac to see the bit rate of an MP3. Yeah, it doesn't say bitrate. In the music app, use terminal AF info. I could do an FF probe. Can I go to the command line for this? I mean, I can do it, but I could open it in the music app, which is the same as what I just did with Audacity, although I hate the music app. I think I can just right click and send to music. Open with music. Will the QuickTime player... I mean, I don't mind the music. What's the music player? Is that like CD? VLC would probably tell me what it is. And do you tell me the bit rate? Can you... I know you're just a player. Are you gonna give me the info? I haven't been in here in so long. $143. It's a variable. Okay. That's just kind of an average. 143 is the average. If it's variable, there's not much I can really do about it. If I can get a fixed bit rate, can you download lossless? Is there? I'm gonna investigate it. Later. Put that as a note to investigate the quality level. Off stream. We fixed. There's no echo in the music. I fixed that. off stream, we're going to look into better, higher quality audio. We got VBRs for all MP3s.
That was Redemption by Arthur Riley. Now playing Frozen Planet by
Already
Audio.
Best at VBR. Usually variable bitrate is pretty high quality. I think you can have low quality variable bitrate is the thing. It's not like it's lossless. Variable bitrate is not lossless. So I hear that, and so all this is a ramble about me and the microphone, and yeah, going off on a tangent there. Hashtag note to self, can you blame me as I'm exploring? Hashtag note to self chatbot. Can you really blame me for getting so distracted? I was talking about the headset and the profile, and I realized that if I wanted to try the lapel mic, the Bluetooth mic, and the I know the earbud mics are gonna be pretty bad. They're pretty convenient, and if I have just a really lightweight monitor, that would be and a microphone that's, if it's passable, if it's okay. I probably should have a pop filter on this. But what I can do, I was thinking here through all this, is create a separate hashtag note to self chatbot. Draw me an ASCII diagram of all of my tangents threads that in this chat. Draw me an ASCII diagram that is a representation of all of the tangential threads that I went off on in this chat session, in this stream, and hopefully I resolved them back again. So I could make a profile for the headset that I want, is the thought, and that would simplify the checklist and getting up and running. Then I wouldn't have to do this setting of the microphone in multiple places. Now I have to set the mic. What I have to do is I just have to set the mic to be this one, and then I have to come into the Be Right Back, and then I have to set this mic to be the mic that I want. Mic desired. Mic headset, mic desired. And then this is the 2 mic desired. Show. Now that should be headset, headset, and then this is headset. So those all match, but I can avoid that by taking this profile and duplicating it. Edit profiles. Split that. Menu. No. Duplicate. And rename you to... Is the rename gonna remember? Headset. So if I come over to here and I say rename to lapel, mic, lapel, mic headset, mic headset. It is. So I was watching the level meter there. So will that remember if I come up to the default profile and I click on you, and I see that you're a multi-action, it's going to switch to mic headset. So it's got the ID. And the thought was then I can have a column that's going to be like a headset column and the lapel volume. So I can copy, paste, and I can copy and paste. And this is going to be not so much the safe, but the lapel.
That was Rustler's Run. Now playing Deliverance.
And this is not so much the safe. The red tells me lapel. Auto. Safe. And then this is going to be auto, but headset with okay, there, and this is that, which is headset, safe. And then the only difference between these two is the profile that it pulls up, and then I need to edit the profile. So that one's already set. This one's going to pull up the mic lapel, and this is going to pull up the mic lapel. It's kind of a waste of buttons. As I get used to it, I might streamline it. But then I go into the mic lapel, and I change you to lapel, and I change you to lapel, and I change you to lapel. So now checkbot makes it jump, but that's fine. So now I've got those two profiles, so I don't actually need to do that step. I already have the right profile. All I do is just stream. Select the right. Pick lapel or headset. I'm gonna call the lapel would be the Bluetooth earbuds, but it's just semantics. Verify stream. Then
That was Deliverance by Arthur Riley. Now playing Infection by White Bat Audio.
stream BRB, verify stream, BRB on, BRB off. Okay. I added a few steps, but I removed a step, right? And I was doing all those anyway. I'm being a little more verbose to things that I'm already doing anyway, but I was able to eliminate one of the steps. Okay. So it gets me a little noisy on the Stream Deck screen up here on the default. that's a little noisy. Really, those these two green ones, all they do is just change a profile. The ones above are automated. Multi-steps. So I think it's fine. Moving on. Where was I? Chat. Let's go back to the goals. In-stream chat overlay. Do I want to tackle that? I do want to tackle that. I feel like I can make more progress on the music player because it's in flight. I've already started. That's the problem. I may never finish the music player, but I've got a goal. I've got a fairly short-term goal that I would like to reach on the music player. So, at a minimum, when I started the stream, I was thinking of a note to self, but this one's not one. An NTS that shall not be named. My Alexa downstairs, I have one Alexa device in the house, and its keyword, I changed it to not be Alexa. It's now computer. And so when everyone's in the office, no one can say the C word. They have to, it's the name that shall not be named is computer. So in this stream, note to self shall not be mentioned except it's a keyword hashtag, so that when I run a stream by later, when I analyze the transcripts, I can put in here to do.
That was Infection by White Bat Audio. Now playing Out There by Arthur Riley.
Hashtag note to self chatbot. Chatbot. Key phrases and make a side note. So something I imagine I can, in my stream, tell the chatbot to do something. I can say hashtag note to self chatbot. I can come up with a simpler key phrase that's almost a safe enough phrase, but the ChatGPT prompt can include looking for those keywords and pulling out what I was just talking about and summarizing those as a bullet point at the end, so that this is the full transcript. This is every word that YouTube says that I spoke, and then I have it generate a summary for me, which was they'll show in this app. Just making sure I got that in my head. That this was the summary that it came. I gave it the file before I came up with a naming convention. These are just generic names. I'm working on a naming convention when I download the transcript. I'll put it in the transcript repository. I'll give it a name. I'll scrub it with a regex real quick. It only takes a second. Okay, 15 seconds. And then I give it this prompt. Now I could try to, inside of Visual Studio, have it do this for me, but that will use up my tokens, which are a little bit precious for coding. So if I could shell out, I don't mind, to save me the token space, I don't mind manually launching this. It would be kind of cool if I could automate it, but whatever. And then this is the summary that it came up with, which is better. But even this is still too much. I'm going to improve this over time. But then in this output, I'll change the prompt to look for key phrases such as hashtag, note to self, chatbot. I give it an assistant. I come up with some better phrase. I'll put that in the prompt, and then in the end,
now playing.
it will.
Follows by White Bat Audio.
It'll. I'm just watching the levels here. It's still attenuating the voice. So at the end here, on the next transcript that I have it summarize, hopefully it could have bullet points at the end, which are summaries of all the tangential thoughts and the follow-ups. If I just say it, then it can come up as a summary in the end of the post stream summary. I did notice that I was mentioning yesterday, small tangent here. Look for things where I tell myself I should remember things. I'll close this. To do. Let's do those. To do for those prompts. And look for areas where I tell myself to look into something or follow up on something or do something or take action on. Look for areas where I tell myself to take action on things. To take action on things. Example. Look into something. Yeah. Up on something. Do something. Research something. I should. And summarize those as bullet points at the end. And summarize those as bullet points at the end. And summarize what I was talking about as bullet points at the end. Look for areas where I tell myself to take action on things.
That was
example.
By White Bat Audio.
Look into something, follow up on something, do
Mass
something, research
by
something,
Riley.
I should, ... And summarize those as bullet points. Psychoanalyze. PSY. Psychoanalyze. my stream. Suggest ways for me to improve staying on topic for future streams. Psychoanalyze my stream to evaluate my mental health. That one's a bit of a stretch. But seriously, that's one's. I can put this to-dos at the bottom. I don't think I'll lose them. So, summary, summarize, timestamps, generate title. Still generates a huge time long timestamps. Condense. I'm gonna kind of freeform tease it when I generate the next one. I'm just gonna let it do the big one, and then I could just say condense more, enhance, like the opposite of enhance, like condense, 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 less, 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 and then when I finally see that what it's like, keep condensing it. Keep asking if it seems, keep asking. If it seems too long, keep asking it to condense until if it seems keep asking it. If it seems too long, keep asking it to condense it until it looks. Really, it shouldn't be that long. I know that I'm well aware that ad block updated. Bam. That's distributed bright. There's some. This is it. I'm well aware. Absolutely, nothing's lost on me. That list is way too long. No one's gonna read all that. I need a lot more of a summary. This is just kind of a first pass. This is what my second or third stream. So no biggie. Hashtag note to self, myself, not really chatbot, but there really are, I believe there were 2 humans that showed up in Kick, so I do need to either prioritize getting the chat overlay onto the screen the way that I want it, and or check these tabs on a regular basis and make them dedicated tabs, which I typically do. I have typically pulled these out as separate. These are all actually under the social stream tab group already. And I usually break those out because I was trying social stream. Do I want to get into that? I think I resolved this transcript stuff. I've got some commits on that to do. Not important until my next stream. The tray app, I'm closing out tabs here. I think I might want to make a tray app that puts the chats in the windows so that I just and basically it pops a bubble. A philosophical rant here or whatever. Not even really philosophical, techno-philosophical. With this AI stuff, I'm trying not to be a doomsdayer or a naysayer on it. I think it's pretty awesome and useful, but the but is a positive but here. That what this means is that people aren't limited. It's going to open up the floodgates to people having their own custom bespoke software. Like I don't like what Office does, so I'll just write my own Office. Like, right? If you don't like what X, Y, like if you don't like what Spotify does, if you don't like what this does, if you don't like what that does, then just ask an AI to write it for you. So why am I it takes open source. It's almost going to kind of it's going to hurt open source in a way. I think
That was done.
it's going to
Now
take
playing.
the traditional
Flashlight.
open source model. I am going to watch the audio monitor here on the side. Pull up OBS and then have you on the side. I can put the browser chats in. I know I can do that. I can do scene docs, custom browser docs. I can do this. I know. YouTube chat. If I'm gonna do this, fuck it, I'll do a stopgap here. This one. Fuck it. Pop out chat. Grab this URL. I know how to do this. I just haven't done it yet. I'll say chat, kick. Chat, YouTube. We'll grab the kick one. Close you. Pop out. Grab you. You're consistent. And chat, Twitch. Twitch. Pop out. Zeta. Yeah, I'm wondering if this needs to be redacted. And or if it's critical. I can always come back and grab that. So I'm going to try it without and see what difference it makes. This is the stream ID of the current live thing. So this would have to change over time. But I can apply this. And those are all good. Those are good. So I can put you as chats down here? I think I got the room. Sort of. I sort of have the room. This one, might I redact for a moment? Let me go into the headset safe and pull up my, I'm going to redact for a second. Pull up my password for Twitch. Then let me paste. There we go. One-time code. It's only good for 30 days. Do I have a code in here? I do have a code in here. Alright, that works. Okay. Might want to rename you to put you off on the side.
That was Crash Site by White Bat Audio. Now playing Machine Uprising by Arthur Riley.
Sure, why not? Put you up there. I think I have the space for all those tabs. So yeah, I can check them here. Why can't I sign in? Signed in is the thing. Kick is signed in. This is gonna require me to sign in, which is fine. Oh, I didn't unredact. Sorry. I'm working on this. The layout here. I'm gonna sign in on Kick here. Back, yeah, I can. Let's check my password for Kick. Two-factor. A new two-factor. Okay, that signed in. So now I've signed in to Twitch, and I can do this. I can't paste like directly, which is probably because of hot shortcut keys and hotkeys and everything. How to sign in here? How to sign in.
That was Machine Uprising by Arthur Riley. Now playing Slasher by White Bat Audio.
It's not seeing my sign in. Gotta start out since I can't sign in here. I can't find a way to sign in here. Probably a reasonable width to. Custom browser docs, change you to YouTube. Why? How to get the sign in? These are all the starting soon footages, which, yeah, I don't need that. So, OBS, custom browser docs, sign in. OBS, custom browser doc, sign. But it's not. How to force sign into YouTube chat. I could make one as a fake one. I can probably just do that. I can probably just grab the stream and put that as a fake one. Apply. Say okay. Now this is going to make me sign in, and I think it'll share the same sessions. So redact. Password for so many accounts. That's me. Now if I were to close that and turn off the YouTube and then turn you back on, are you going to remember if I refresh page? Yeah, there we go. Okay.
That was Slasher. Now playing Memories of a Murder.
Alright, so that gets me, and now I can basically be like, what does that mean? Boom, 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 paste, right click, paste. Okay, so now I can at least, I've mitigated the chat problem. Squish you down. I think I can squish you down a little more. What's the minimum button width? bam, they're all in there. I got a music notes here where I'll keep track of my music notes. Oh, hey, look, there, redacting, pretty obvious. I was just showing I signed in to YouTube now by signing in through another doc. By signing into YouTube Studio, that got me into there, and now I can basically delete you. That got me at least into the. They all share the same profile cache area, so that got me going. It got me logged into YouTube, and then I can chat on YouTube. I can chat on Kick and Twitch. Here I have my goals, which are live in the stream. My notes, which are hidden from the stream. I don't mind sharing them. They just don't need to be in everyone's face. And then music, which is my notes on the songs themselves, which I will guide if I ever want to manually go to any of the songs. Which I've got a few music player changes in flight right now. Don't need you. You were all of the starting soon. There, I'm going to close these out, but they're basically, there's Vecteezy. There's all sorts of other ones. Like some of these are okay-ish looking. I have a crappy version for the game stream, and I want to upgrade it to 4K since I stream in 4K. These aren't bad, but they're free. Some of these are free. I qualify them as free, sort by license type free. So, not bad. I think you have to have an account and signed in to get the free ones even, so maybe. So I don't know if I want to close, maybe I'll close you and I'll keep you because I just want to look through them. Here's, I think just the same things. Free. If I see any ones that match. It's all just kind of random, but I can search. Start soon, starting soon, starting soon. Stream starting soon. Intro starting soon. Like, just starting soon. So probably, yeah, close you, close you.
That was Memories of a Murder. Now playing. Farbas Monolith.
Stream starting soon. It's just starting soon, we'll get it. Stream starting soon. Stream start soon. Soon neon. That's lame. Streaming soon. Starting soon neon. Then there's the Adobe ones, which I think have to be logged in for those. And there's probably other ones on that, which I'll see what there are. YouTube has a few. There's like a 4K. There's a few out there. And those would be probably, I don't know about very popular, but yeah, I don't know if they might be exhausted or worn out or used so much that everybody uses them. And then there's Shutterstock, which yeah, whatever. But I wanted it to be 4K, and like that one's lame. Although it's 80s, so. But I think you have to, at a minimum, be logged in. I almost kind of like that, but all these cheesy ones, which I think I can just search on Shutterstock for. I don't need all these. I'll just search for it. I'll just search for starting soon on Shutterstock. And then I'll find one that I like that has the watermark on it and be sad. This was the transcript one. I haven't updated anything on you yet. Over time, I'll be working with an AI bot to automate this more, either directly or through some sort of scripts. So, and yeah, just get rid of you two. And put you there. And that's. So I said star tube. What is star tube? I didn't even know what this was. It's probably custom tube. I just used the YouTube layouts. Like, okay, whatever. I didn't know what it was. The ITL YouTube experience brought back.
That was Farbus Monolith by White Bat Audio. Now playing Gravitational
Really
Waves
the layout.
by Arthur Riley.
Star tube. Allows you to choose your layout. I mean, it sounds cool. I didn't know it existed, so if you ever get tired of that, stream starting soon. This is 4K. Stream is these are different. Stream starting, stream ending, intermission, like maybe. This one seems. This is cycling through a bunch of stuff. If you want Japanese characters, there's just a whole bunch here. And the problem is I want it to loop. This seems like a repeat here. That one might be a looper. But just kind of lame. Mute, sorry. That one's kind of cute. Yeah, that one's kind of cute. Space, but the clouds kind of ruin it. Pirate, stream starting soon. So there's a lot of stuff. They say these are 4K. They only show as HD. There we go. There's a 4K. How's my charger? 92%. If you say you're 4K, are you really 4K? That's lame. Kind of cute if you're into pirates role playing. And I didn't want a countdown timer either. So some of these have like that one could easily loop. This one could loop because it's got enough of a cut on it. Distraction, distraction, distraction. This is 4K but so lame. It's 2.5 minutes of that. Stream offline. Stream starting soon. Okay, so at least it's 2. And then it's got its own closer. And then there's sites that dedicated to it. So you can find something from those channels. And this one was okay. It didn't have a countdown. Oh yeah, it does. It has the countdown, which I don't want a countdown. So how's my? I need to be doing this stuff on the side so that I monitor the levels. It is important to me that I monitor those levels. Can I stack you? Play with this layout here, where I stack you. And you. Where am I at off the edge there. There's the chat.
That was
Can we
gravitational
get rid of that shit?
Now playing critical
Why does it have
mass.
to be there? Refresh. Yeah, get rid of that. If I put you here, I got the width there. If I docked you all the way on the edge, like on the edge, you know what I mean? Like inside of you. Yeah, no. Do you have to be on the... Can I have a full height? Or at least go double? This lets me see the chats from inside, but that pulls up all of you. Put Twitch. Can't do a full docked edge. I want to be a full height. Edge dock. Really squishing here, though. YouTube needs that height. Twitch doesn't need that height. YouTube needs that height. As much as possible. But I want to see that there, and I want it above. That's the problem. Yeah, I want to see it all. If I put you over here, and you over here, temporarily, and you over here, temporarily, and put you up here. That lets me get you back to there where I can see you. And you have to be a lot higher. And you have to be just not enough vertical space.
That was Critical Mass
The
by
way
Arthur
that they,
Riley. Now playing Radiation Storm by
the way that they
Whitebat
shove
Audio.
that down there. This is, can I hide you? Inspect. I'm pretty sure I can hide you. Well, there's a trick for you. Oh, but it's still, it's got a, man, what a pain that is. Can I have kick and twitch be side by side? No, not really. Oh, it's so ugly. Thought I'd have a simple solution there as a compromise, basically. Got a lot of space here. This space. A lot of wasted space here. I like having those docked there because I can do the multiple output there. And it works. Where was I? Yeah, I'm not gonna use the NDI audio. Audio MIDI setup. Don't need you. This is where I was talking about that. We'll get rid of you. NDI video, getting back towards the code. I created those.
That was Radiation Storm by White Bat Audio. Now playing See You on the Other Side by Arthur Riley.
So there were some improvements that I put on this. Tighten up the now playing header layout. It's a nice to have, not important. I could send it off. I don't want to have too much in flight. I want to basically wrap up the stuff that I have in flight. Support selecting another audio device. That's the only ChatGPT I have off and running. This is a big one though, where I've been debating this app that I've written, like, what have I done? Where I want this MP3 player, great. I want this chat stuff. Like, I have a couple different things. I was, rambling a good 30 plus minutes ago about writing bespoke applications. And if I want to do this, and I want to do that, and I want to do, and that's where I went off on the chat stuff. I wanted to write an app because I've done this in .NET. Why can't I just do this in Qt? I could do it in lots of different ways. To be a system tray application that when someone chats, when someone sends me a text, it pops up a bubble. It gives me a notification that someone just chatted. Because it's not like I rarely get chats, and that's what makes them more important, so that I don't want to miss one, so that I can basically get on that and get on that and get on that and respond to chats and be engaged. So I do want to see them all. And if there's spam, I want to basically block the spam too. So can I write a system tray application that does that? Now, that's one idea. And I am picturing, why try to integrate, related to that idea, I can pause that for a second. That'd be a special purpose application does kind of that one thing. You could think, well, let's write an app for YouTube, and let's write an app for Kick, and write an app for Twitch, and they're kind of engaged. Just like at some point in time, writing your own bespoke applications becomes exhausting because you can't write a whole bunch of them. So it kind of makes sense to have one app that you just log in to these things. Well, that's kind of what Social Stream is. I'll play with it again. I'll revisit it. I've got a fork of it where I actually tried to remove a whole bunch of crap that it had in it that I'm never going to use. I don't think I'm ever going to use. But I may revisit just the basic. I gotta watch that audio monitor. Yeah. And there we go. There we go. I wanted to see my camera off on the side so I can see if the camera should, be like that. If I wanted to write one application that just gets a bubble for, if any of them pop up, then poof, there's a bubble. I can respond to it. I can go to YouTube. Done. Is that any different, better, or worse than Social Stream? Is the effort, return on investment, and time? Well, AI can do a lot of the work. Maybe I should just use Social Stream for the chat. So there's all that chat stuff on one side. But then there's the music, and the music's playing, and the rating of it, and the looping of it, and the tracking of it, and whether this fits or not, and whether I even incorporate an AI to be like, look at the screen, or what are we doing? I could go in and direct my own music. I've had a version of this. Is this gained? Is just my mic gained? Is my mic gained? I'm not really talking very loud, am I? I'm not really talking very loud. What are my filters at on the compressor? I'm going to 18. I thought I had set this to 20. Excuse me. I thought I had set this to 20. Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. If I talk on this, that's my voice is pretty loud now, so that should be pretty good. If I, and hopefully right now, hashtag note to self for myself and my audio to look at 2 hours and 13 minutes into the stream. How is this audio quality versus that? It's a pretty loud song that's playing, and my talking is almost distracting to me. I can turn this down, but as a listener, you can't really turn it down. So how can I basically how can I make it less annoying for you, a listener? So watching the audio level. goes over there. Twitch goes, but that if I hide that, then I hide kick. But that's as short as YouTube can get, and I can't do a full width dock. That's really weird. Full height docks. Hey! Full height docks. Fuck yeah. Alright. But I want the audio mixer over here. Yeah. And if I squish you, and I squish you, and I squish you, and I squish you, that is just so bad that that height, that minimum height that they require. I wonder if I can override that. What's the confining? It's that whole, I think it's the box. I think it's the text box. So inspect you. I want to look at the I think it's this. It's got a minimum height of some sort. It's flexing. That hidden chat. Separator. Ticker. And if I have to edit this, and that's where if I had a sys tray where I could dock in a chat and I can just show, do I want to have like the chats just all side by side, or do I want to have an integrated chat? And I don't know if I want to have an integrated chat. Social Stream seems to do that, and maybe it works pretty well, but I kind of, if I have the real estate, if I have the screen real estate,
That was Carnage.
I'd almost rather have
Now playing Newfound Courage by Arthur Riley.
Individual. I think I'd rather have, because I've tried integrated apps, chats before, and I think I would prefer to have a YouTube column, a Kick column, and a Twitch column. But maybe integrated is fine. And I have Social Stream. Dare I do this? I have this. I don't know if it's set up at the moment to be working right. I have to kind of start it and blah, blah, blah. So, turn you off. But I do like that I can have all these vertical. That's interesting. I can have that all vertical. I don't need all this horizontal. That way I can edge you, are you full height? So it's like a either or. You can't have, if you have full height docks, then you can't not have, then you have to have them on both sides. Okay. Back to you, where I can see those for now. And yeah, I may go Social Stream, but and I like to see that just for vertical center of camera. All right. I only have this one. And what's my threshold? If I talk in that area, what's the threshold for it boosting my audio? If I talk, if there's any talk on that. If I talk. I don't know if they're not high priority. Not high priority, not high priority, not high priority. Not high priority. Not high priority. Select the audio device. It would be high priority if I were streaming on Friday. I don't think I'm going to. I've texted the org. I don't think anybody's responded. Lied to me. Voice on this one. It's kind of a little lame. Newfound courage. It seemed like the voice in there. It's like she's just an instrument. Is like that voice is kind of lame. Yeah, I'm not digging I'm not feeling the emphasis on the syllable. Where this is going is that if I write a chat app, I already have plans to write a music app. And the question is, how do I write that music app? Do I use Tauri? Do I use Qt? Why can't I take what I've already written and just put it inside of a Qt browser? Like, surely there's got to be a Q browser that I can just dock the player into, and away it goes. Now, I've done similar stuff in the past on like an Android where you put this JavaScript HTML code inside of a little sandboxed control unit, and so of course it's limited. Excuse me, but even if I never implemented selecting audio output device, I could still do OBS application capture, and so that would actually cause an echo, I believe. If you do a screen capture audio, then that grabs everything. But if you do application capture on top of that, then you're going to have the echo. So the moment you do any individual application capture, you have to mute your screen capture and now start to capture the individual applications that you wanted to capture. So, or route through different audio outputs and start mixing things. So it gets complicated the moment you start once you add, if you go from a global audio capture to and you add on to that an application capture, then you may have an echo, and it may not be bad, but it'll be there and you'll know it. So if I've got a trying to think of some NTSs. Mm. Of how a AI could help me um, keep track of my ideas, but I'll let that idea fade away. This one and this one are basically what I'm talking about right now. Do I spend the time so that my application, my music application can pick the audio that it routes out? And that's what I'm implementing. I've already I have not refreshed the page, so this is that task right here. This task number 39. That's what this is. And I've got a demo of it working here. Last night as I went to sleep, this was working a couple of days ago, and then for some reason it stopped working. So I went to sleep just like, fuck it, I'll deal with this later. But I know that this, as a proof of concept, that worked. And I roll that in here, and so now the web page can do that. But now that I roll it into Qt, if I make a Tauri wrapper around it, will that browser be able to do better at selecting it? Well, it'll not need to run as localhost, and so it would be running inside of it. Would it? I don't know if running inside of Tauri would give it the permissions to not need to elevate and ask for permissions, and so it would do a better job at being able to detect the audio devices. And then would it be honored? Would its audio route be honored? Or the Tauri wrapper could itself have its own controls that route its own audio, so I don't even need it inside of this. So how does that? I'm trying to think of how that direction goes, and I wonder if the transcribing process, hashtag note to self chatbot, I wonder if you can just pick up on my cues as I'm talking and help me think through ideas and give me a summary of how to solve the problems that I'm not actually seeing and articulating in the stream. Can you be my Jarvis? Can you be my assistant? Maybe not live. That's another idea, is to have a live transcriber going on. Or one that at least I have a Stream Deck button to kick in, where start listening and help me out. Like hit a button, and now my engineer in the booth, my booth engineer, is gonna go off and research what I'm talking about and come back with an answer, and maybe even use voice. So can I have an assistant while I'm streaming? Either real time, as in WebRTC, which would get expensive on you would quickly run out of your free stuff and then start to use your pay stuff, which I've got a ChatGPT assistant, a WebRTC assistant that I wrote, but can I use it for the stream? And I look like Elon Musk. Hey, hello, Buttercup. I am, now that I see you in the chat, I look like Elon Musk? Let me, this is in the chat, which I hate this chat. I hate the YouTube part of this chat, how fucking big it is. I can't, like, the Twitch chat size, reasonable and understandable. Like this chat size, reasonable and understandable. They're not forcing any specific height. It's all scrolling down to the bottom. The kick chat, same thing. It's reasonable in height. There's a little bit of, but that's fine. That if they collapse it down to that being the minimum height, yeah, that makes sense. That I'm just going to send, if I wanted to be in write only mode and just send away, then that's fine. But this fucker, like, what's with this shitty empty space here? And it, like, what's up with that? That's, you're on your bottom, you don't even squish up, you flex down and off screen. That's so bad. I wish there were timestamps. Can I put timestamps in chat appearance? It'll make this bigger. I can pull you out at a minimum. I know I can do that. I want timestamps. There we go. Quick actions. Oh, I can delete. That's right. I can delete the spam. I forgot that I can do that. Close you. Everyone, you can do it here. Kick fam, delete. Will you work? There we go. You don't work. We'll go figure. I guess I actually have to be over on the kick chat itself. And where did you go? Oh, you're right there. What? Are you up there? Oh, you ducked way up there. I think I'm just gonna go to the chat, and that should lower the. Hopefully, if you're still there, the audio levels hopefully are a little better.
That was Lucid Dreams by Arthur Riley. Now playing.
Let me switch over to this where I can see and control and delete the chats. I forgot that I can do that. Can't control those borders, actions, timestamps. Delete. No thanks, Kick Fam. I should just block you. How do I learn how to block someone? Is that harsh? Can I just mute them? Yeah, I'll just mute them. I should ban them. Should I ban them? Probably should. I should ban them. Who do I care about them? You're a bot, and I don't care. You're banned. But I also want to mute. I want to ban and mute. Ban and mute. I can't really tell. I'm skeptical, and I'm pretty sure you're a bot, but at least you're not obvious about it. I guess you mean that I look old. I guess you mean. All right. I'll keep an eye on the chat. And I keep an eye on the audio levels. I do appreciate the human. Let's see, this. It has to be so wide. I want it. I want both. I want my cake and eat it too. I want the audio mixture to be teeny tiny. What if I put the audio mixer way over here, beside that thing that I want to, and put you? Can I get you inside? I want to get you inside.
That was Infection by White Bat Audio. Now playing The Forgotten by Arthur Riley.
I want to. I don't want full height on the left. I want full height on the right. I want full height on the left, but not the right. Can't have everything. Can I put you to... Oh, I can't. And I can't have nesteds. It's just so bad. I was trying to inspect you out and find the chat. Separator, the chat itself. That includes that thing that's not letting it compress. I want, there's something in there, it's that box. It's the black box that's got a minimum height. And I basically want to override that minimum height on the chat box itself. Not the whole chat with that, but not that, not that, not that, not that, not that, not that, not that. Man, where is that? Is there a minimum? I can pull up. I don't have to do that there. I can do it over on this side. I can come into YouTube, and pop you out, and I can pull up the inspector on you, and I can ask AI on you. This is pretty cool that you can do this. I can ask AI. I want to see the audio levels. I'm trusting them more, but I don't need you. There we go. At least I can see the audio levels. This has got that right there.
By Arthur Riley.
That's shitty.
White Bat Audio.
So at a minimum, I can See, I can't squish that anymore. It's already minimum height. I think it's because of, I'm not sure what's forcing that height to be there. And can I squeeze any more controls? That was the transitions, advanced scene switcher, which I could shove in you, but there'll be other possible audio devices coming up. This guy. I can easily hide you. You're easy. Element style, display. None. Gone. That's easy. But it's this element, that blank field. Items. Offset. Min height. There we go. That's it right there. Min height. Just get rid of you. Get rid of min height. No. I definitely messed up a little bit. Turns you off. Kind of, it didn't really solve the problem. It just solved that buffer. And that now at least gets it back. But I still have some other min height. And if I search for what is, so here I can inspect. And I can ask AI. I think there's this ask AI.
That was The Witch by White Bat Audio. Now playing Aspire by Arthur Riley.
Thought I had these on already. I think I'm inside. Yeah, I'm inside night versus night. Okay. So what is keeping this? What min height? Height or heights is keeping this window from shrinking nicely vertically. Careful height on this. Div list element, min height is set to auto. It's not, well, it's not set to auto. A lot of elements, a lot of styles on that shit. doesn't have an explicit min height. However, it is computed height is this min height is set to auto. I'd like to see it. Show me the min height. I guess min height. I could do height.
That was Aspire by Arthur Riley. Now playing Get Out by White Bat Audio.
What is all this? Strikeout. Why is it? Why is the strikeout showing as a hit? Min height 30, but that's like a thumb element. Those are all those. I don't care about any of you. It's the whole content. I'm pretty sure the whole content doesn't have a min height. $320. That was it. Right there. So now, if I come over here, contents, live chat app, inspect, view, bam, bam, window, oops, view, inspect, tab, you are what I want. You should have, you're gonna have like a separate, you're a different version of Chrome, I believe. You're not gonna have all that AI crap fluff built in, but at least it let me find that min height as the contents, and it was this one. Bam. And now, look at that. I can squishy all I want. Okay. Thank you. So now, at least now I can evenly distribute them and give them 33% height. So, you know, manually. So, note to self on a hack, I'll put a note. Man, it gets another notes of notes of notes. If I make a tech note, texts, and let me duplicate you, copy, and paste a duplicate of you, and I'm going to call you tech.
That was Get Out. Now playing The Witch.
And add you as a doc over there on source doc. I'm going to add tech as an input, add, close, put you over here, past U, and that is going to be chat hacks. YouTube element that was inspect. Copy path. Selector. I think that'll get me writable. Element contents, min, height, disable. And then element, I think it was show more. If I refresh this page, it's going to come back, right? And actually, that min height was already at least greater than 33% anyway, so I'm actually, I was nitpicking on that one. It's this one that I want to come out and grab.
That was The Witch by White Bat Audio.
YouTube
Now play.
live chat viewer engagement. Card. If I just tried removing live chat viewer engagement message render. ID card. That's got the ID, so that's what I want to copy. The selector. Display none. That's just annoying. That's borderline harassment. Alright. View, element style, display none. So that cleans that up. I call it tech or hacks or something, but I'm gonna do a bio break. Be right back. All right. How did I unban someone? Anyway, it doesn't really matter. I had the thought while on the toilet that if I wrote, I know the code of OBS Studio, okay, sorta. I'm familiar with it. I've been inside there, and also when doing .NET stuff in the apps that I've written, that hashtag note to self at 2 hours and 56 minutes into the stream is my voice competing with the music, is the music competing with my voice. Sorry, is the music competing with my voice. So the CEF, Chrome Embedded Framework. OBS uses Ceph. OBS is written using Qt, and OBS uses Ceph. They could be using Ceph because they want some more advanced features than am I competing notes, hashtag note to self. At 2 hours 56 minutes and 30 seconds was that voice competing with my voice, was the announcement voice competing with my voice. So OBS has built-in browsers, right? OBS is, and there. I was looking at this and I was thinking about, as I was inspecting and debugging, finding what to hide there for that element. And this is going to be random. It's really placed below. If I refresh this, it'll come back. And if I inspect this element here, it's for sure that one, for sure not that one, it's for sure this one. But this is the actual card. If I copy your selector and paste you here, maybe card is all I need to do. I'd thought about that. If I just hide the card and I say display none on you, that's much simpler. So this is the higher important one, is the display none on the card to hide that nasty ugly bubble that can't get away from. So as I was doing that and debugging, I noticed that in here, in this, they don't have the AI feature. The AI feature isn't here. Well, they're using, because they're using an older version. I don't know if I can go into the about, help, documentation, if I can see what version of Chrome they're running. It does not, it's not showing me, telling me preferences, workspace, what version of Chrome, tools, shortcuts, it's not really relevant, but hashtag note to self at 2 hours and 59 minutes in, is the music competing with my voice, and the upcoming inevitable voice announcement, is it going to compete with my voice in the future, in the near future. The fact that AI was not available inside of the OBS Ceph browser tells me that the Ceph browser is older, doesn't have all those AI features built into it, which is also going to balloon and inflate OBS. What that really tells me is that they're not using any Q browser. Is there a Q browser? Is the thing. Note to self, hashtag note to self, ChatGPT. Let's do this as a test. Can you remember this and help me to look into whether there is a Q browser class that I can embed into a Qt application? And while I'm at it, can you help me compare the differences between why would I use the Q, if there is a Q browser, why would I use the Q browser over pros cons versus Ceph? Why wouldn't I embed Ceph like OBS, which is a Qt application, which OBS does not use this hypothetical Q browser at the moment. So why does OBS not use Q browser? I suspect I probably won't have an advanced need for that with my music player. I'm just curious for knowledge reasons. So, ChatGPT, think you can help me out with that? So that in note. So that'll be kind of a note to self to see if I can follow up with things. And again, hashtag note to self ChatGPT. Maybe you can help me look into investigate or research how I can have kind of a real-time in-stream assistant ability to, without having to really pay too much for an OpenAI API key, I pay a little bit to do these side things. As much as I'm not willing to pay like $25 a month for some stupid little streamer tool and nickel and dime me on that level, I would be willing to pay OpenAI or some other company um, uh, a few dollars a month for sure, at least a few dollars, maybe even $5, $10, $20 more than I'm already paying a month to help me automate my creative thoughts with some sort of an in-stream assistant like an engineer in the booth. How can I have an engineer in the booth to be listening either live real time, which I can picture a couple ways to do that, but I think it would be expensive with WebRTC listening all the time. But is there a way that I could, maybe from my Stream Deck or through a hotkey, um, fire up an assistant, turn its mic on, have it start listening, so that I can get real-time feedbacks of prompts to ChatGPT and maybe even get a real-time answer within a few minutes. Kind of my own little Jarvis assistant in the stream to help me be coherent in my thoughts and follow through on my thoughts and that sort of stuff. So that's about the end of this hashtag ChatGPT. So that was the I might rename this to hacks. I think where the crash was before this OBS had crashed on Sunday 2 times. It was because the source doc it was confused about the names, and basically if I renamed you, I'd have to basically delete you and re-add you. If I do that, if I select you and delete, I'm not sure what if it's gonna delete the selected item or what are these little check boxes? Is that what I thought? I can do it. I can do that. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's what I want. I do want that. I want that to be full height. Because this gets me usable chat. And that gets me doc, source docs. That's cool because this just gave full height docs, which basically locked those down to the outside. But now this lets me, oh, that's really useful for controlling that. And now I've got the audio mixer. But now my last tweak that I want to do is I really want to be able to put something right in there, right in that spot. Because at least the audio mixer's there. My video is not, I think that's the minimum width there. And this one I could, the smaller I make it, the more crowded it's gonna get. And this seems like a reasonable width for chat. So this is, when I bring up another window though, it's, at least I can see it, so I don't have to have the whole thing there. And then this lets me put you there, and I can do that, and I can see the audio mixer, I can see the chat, I can see the audio mixer, I can see the notes. I have a small 4x3, like almost a 4x4, what, a 1x1 essentially, ratio screen in the middle, but that's fine. I can work inside of that cramped. I am cramped here on the laptop. Hashtag note to self at 3 hours and 7 minutes into the stream as is the music, is it competing with my voice at the moment, or is the levels okay? Should I drop the audio even more? It's 1:25 and I have to go pick up my kids at 2:25. So let me set an alarm to remind myself at 2:10 to go get the kids. And what were you? Speed test. Okay. That was. If I talk right now, and is the voice, is that voice competing with my voice? Is the announcement, did that announcement voice compete with my voice? Hashtag note to self at 3 minutes and 8 seconds into the stream. Did the voice announcement that just happened, did that compete with the voice that I was artificially introducing into the stream? Thinking here. I have a stopgap for the chat at the moment. I could look into social stream, or I can keep working on the music player. Let me pull up my goals. You're not the same width, which is fine. You don't need to be the same width. But I'm making it the same width because I'm being OCD. tech doesn't need to be there. Tech should be over here. So music player, systray notification stuff. The systray notification is, this is where all this stuff ties in. I'm still torn on, I'm having a hard time making a choice here on where to go next. I see a lot of paths. I don't have any problem with having an idea, coming up with ideas of what to do next. But I have a problem of making that actual choice. Hashtag note to self, is my voice, is the music competing with my voice at 3 hours and 11 minutes into the stream? So that I can, can I talk naturally and fluently at this moment, or is that audio just completely overpowering my voice? The monitor, I could try to monitor out the left ear or the right ear, but I'm not going to do that. I think that would introduce an echo, and it's too much. It did hurt my brain to concentrate on that right now. My brain's doing too much already. These two checkbox items on the music player, me taking the time to select the audio output device, and or most likely taking this standalone application, which now requires a local host in order to run for permission reasons, just make it a Tauri based application. Or is there a Qt I can just add in here as another option? What is there something like a, is there a Q browser that would allow the music app HTML, JavaScript, CSS code to be easily loaded and run and honor audio routing? Conversely, can a Tauri app, is that right? Tauri, can a Tauri app run as a systray
that
app
was meant to be,
and
now playing, indistinguishable from magic?
Either set or honor audio routing? So that's kind of where I'm at on where do I, is a point of no return type of thing, that you go down the slippery slope and then you realize the beast that you've created. I can search for that now. Qt Q browser. There's got to be Q text browser. That's not what I want. Based on Python, WebKit, QtWebEngine, Gecko-based Qt pattern Qt apps in the browser with WebAssembly. Well, that sounds cool. That's old. Qt browser. A keyboard-driven Vim-like browser. But it needs to be Chromium based. Note to self at hashtag note to self at 3 hours and 15 minutes into the stream. Is this also a fairly recognizably loud music's competing with my voice, and then the soon impending inevitable voice announcement of its end and the beginning of the next song, so that I'll have to remember to keep talking here so that I can hear how its audio behavior works. Towards the end of the song. We're 30 seconds from the end. I think it has to be. So it's getting ready to end. It's going to do an abrupt end here. So if I'm talking, and it goes da 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 da. So if I talk and say, once I used to know a new that had a nose for news that no newsman ever knew. But now he's dead, and though I know another news he knew, I never known a new to know the news of that new knew. So that at 3 hours and 16 minutes into the stream, did that have too much competition with my voice? Do I need to drop its level even more? Which I can. I can totally do that. I just need the live mixing. If I had a human here with their own earphones that could tweak this live, then that would rock, but I don't. Note that I think any solution must be Chromium based. QtWebEngine module provides a web browser engine that makes it easy to embed content from the World Wide Web in your Qt application on platforms that do not have a native web engine. The QtWebEngine provides C++, QML. So this sounds like exactly what I want. So yeah, there's this. I can edit this. That's the attack delay that needs to be less forgiving. Needs to be pretty aggressive on the compressor needs to kick in on the time delay. Attack at 6 milliseconds. That's already pretty small. talking, and as well as yeah, if I could, again, hashtag note to self. At 3 hours 20 minutes in is this next voice, inevitable voice that's going to come in here and announce what that song was. It's gonna was that competing? Was the music competing with me? And is this voice right now competing with what I'm talking about? I'm probably going to keep repeating this until I get confirmation that I am happy with the audio quality. I think the compressor settings are probably okay. So there is this QtWebEngine, which looks like what I want. So hashtag note to self chatbot that in my request for is there a Qt browser or Qt based browser, I'd looked into it myself, and I see there's a QtWebEngine that says that it is Chromium based, which is a requirement, and I believe is a requirement in order for me to embed this and get it to work in an application, the music application, in a standalone application, the music web page in a standalone application. So I'm curious on this request that hopefully you're still listening to, is why either do you or don't know, or can we go off and research why does OBS not use the QtWebEngine? I have a hard time believing it's because they're out of date or the QtWebEngine is behind or whatever, because even the Ceph engine is a little bit behind. So how the Chromium that the QtWebEngine uses and the Chromium that Ceph uses, which is Chrome Embedded Framework, those two Chromiums are obviously not the latest Chromium. So how do those three Chromiums compare in version numbers? Which is obviously the Chromium is the most recent one. What is the second most recent one? Is it Ceph or is it QtWebEngine? And then why does OBS use Ceph, and why doesn't Qt-based OBS use the QtWebEngine? I think that's the end of note. Thanks. I'm thinking of putting in here, if I put into notes, I can say hashtags. I can say hashtag note to self. I can say hashtag chat bot. I can say hashtag look at what AI can do. This is my other channel that I've created. I have yet to push any content to, as I'm trying to come up with ways. Part of this behind the scenes and why I'm doing this stuff is not only to help my stream, my night versus night game stream when I do the gaming nights, and to work on getting the infrastructure to make those game nights better. For this night versus night channel and any behind the scenes night versus night sub channel. But I'm also trying to come up with ways to automate, look at what I can do, or look what I can do, look at what AI can do. It's all kind of a blur, but it's the actual phrase, look at what AI can do. That as I stumble across train wrecks, AI train wrecks, or like unicorn rocket launches, it's meant to show the good and the bad. There might be an unfair, a biased level of ratio of bad to negative. But as I find content, I might tag some of the stuff as look at what AI can do. I wonder if there's or some other sort of TBD. I don't know. It's not TBD. It's something else. But then I can come back in afterwards when I'm reviewing the transcription. What can I do? Follow up, or what else? Follow up, all sorts of ideas. So another loud song. Why not? Hashtag note to self. Is the audio competing with my voice right now? This song is inevitably going to close based on my understanding of and familiarity with Uther Riley. Oh, it's only halfway over. Look at that. We just got halfway over, and we did that. So, how did my voice compete there? How did the audio compete with my voice at 3 hours and 26 minutes into the stream? All right, so I've got a note here on this. I'm still not quite. There's the Tauri one and the 39. These two, on where I go with writing a systray app, systray notification that would do the chats. The original idea of the systray notification was more of an OBS letting me know whether my mics are live, but I've resorted to using the Stream Deck, and I can see right here on the screen its levels. It'd be kind of cool if I could make a systray app that has the levels right there on the MacBook title bar, notification bar area. If I can have little bouncy sliders showing me the levels. And yeah, that should come down, right? Yeah. I'm not gonna do the whole, that thing. One of the keywords that shall not be named. It'd be cool if I could do level meters. The original plan of the systray notification was to monitor OBS and to let me know if I'm in redact mode or if I'm in be right back mode or my mic is muted, that sort of stuff. And it used WebSockets to talk back and forth. I think that's a little unnecessary now. The effort required to lift that and then maintain it and use it, it's just, I don't think I'd ever use it. This physical Stream Deck, it's pretty handy, and I can dive deep in it, and it's pretty flexible. Having an idea about, like, I did reasonably successfully reverse engineer the Blackmagic Android application to find out how to remote control it. I haven't followed through. I got some areas, felt it out for some areas to do remote control with my Android watch. And I'm just wondering if I could do the same thing with Stream Deck Neo InfoBar, if there's some way to firmware debug what's going on there with that. When you do the plugins, does it install the plugin under the actual Neo itself, Or is it installed on the operating system and then it just kind of pushes it over? I think you install it in the operating system. I don't think I can't go to another computer and plug in the Neo and all of its plugins show up in the Stream Deck editor. So there's something in the Stream Deck editor, the code itself of the applications, Stream Deck, it's probably under Elgato. Plugins and icon engines, image formats, multimedia, reachability, Cocoa, position. Okay. Styles. Is this security? Okay, TLS security. I'm in our helpers? No. Resources? There we go. This is probably it. Arrow.
That was Aspire by Arthur Riley.
Plugins.
Get Out by White Bat Audio.
Elgato Stream Deck. Dial keys, multi-actions page, profile. Did they have the info bar? System action bar, debug digital time, hotkey, action bar. I wonder if. Curious what. Action bar. Yeah, I'm not sure. Timer. Website text sleep, pagination, open app, open, multimedia mouse, key brightness. Debug. Wow. Okay. Close, images, button, close, whatever. Soundboard. Weird. Rotate. Page multi-actions. These are SVGs, so. Dial. Oh, it's. I think if you have the knobs. Touch backgrounds, translations, actions, audio assets, plugins, icons, profiles, default profiles, distributables. Info bar layouts. There we go. Aha. There, at least we got this. I can do path, notes, get info, grab the path on that. Interesting. Good. But that's not. There's something in here. Manifest. There's some way to.
That was Get Out by White Bat Audio. Now playing
Template those
Journey to the Edge by Arthur Riley.
with different fonts. I'm curious to browse to you. If I add to you a folder, which is applications. Can I step into that? It's just a directory. I don't know why it doesn't. Mark there. How to step into quick. Yeah, it doesn't really get me in there. To get how to. It's too big. To get Visual Studio Code on a Mac. How to get Visual Studio Code to add folder to workspace. Hold on. Be right back. All right, and then I'm curious why that pause didn't kick in. Is it not listening to hotkeys anymore? That it's localhost? If I come here and yeah, it's not hotkeying. Hotkeys aren't working anymore now that we're localhost. Bug. Open. Create a GitHub issue that hotkeys, that media control keys OS browser. Media control keys are not working when the app is run as localhost. Player.html. Ears itching. Ever had your ear itch? Yeah, it don't work. So let's see here. If I talk, yeah, still getting used to that on the where was I on ChatGPT? On a Mac, how to get Visual Studio Code to add folder to workspace, a folder under the folder that
was Journey
can
to
be
the Edge. Now playing Night Sky.
an application and installed that can usually be browsed to by right clicking and saying and selecting, right? I mean, you come into any of these, you right click and you say show package contents. So I come into this, I can go into you and contents, resources, info bar layouts, and drag you into if I come over here, bring you up, and I drag you into the workspace. Will that... Would you like to copy or add folder to workspace? Do you trust? Yes. Info bar, there we go. That got me. And just to make sure, why is it not saving the workspace? So this is getting into the area of these digital time layouts and the pagination layouts. The digital time is what I'm more interested in, but the manifest and how this sucker works. There's some sort of a meta language in here. I can actually even say drag and drop. That's what I did. Open it manually. R3 is the go to folder in the file dialog. I figured it out, so I didn't need that anyway. I already had a question for. I'm pretty sure I put it in the. Projects. Alright. I've learned. I've discovered. Elgato Stream Deck application. Digital pagination. Just grab you. I want to do it from you. Copy path. Is this, and that's the whole layout. Is this useful to possibly hack creating and installing a custom info bar to my Stream Deck? So, like, I don't know why you didn't volunteer to me that it's just a config file. Duplicate, so this is back on the table as an idea. R&D. I got this dangling work in progress here. It's not really a work in progress. I could bang that out of the way too. Got the closer, which I'd want to disable the in order to work on that. In order to work on that, I would want to disable the closer task, which basically when it sees that the closer video ends, then it basically stops streaming. So we can do that. And what's the simplest way to do that? The now playing show hide. If could just do a simple or scene. Current scene is closer. Then hide both of them. So the file is blank or if the scene is closer. Because we're going to match that most of the time. So here, this would basically fix that. I can test this out real quick by going to closer, and advancing switcher won't kick in the stop stream, hopefully. So here we go. Oh, and we're unable to write the file because we're hosted. Fuck. See, I can't write the file because I'm in a local host. And I have to send the header that I'm insecure. Okay. And I talked to ChatGPT about this. And this is where it said, in order to do some things, yep. But that was the WebSocket. No, that was totally different. Totally different. Yeah. This is where it took me in a different direction. It said you had to have like browser security.
That was Catacombs. Now playing Carnage.
So this is where it gave me some stuff, but it's about hand. Let me just ask it again. This is command here on this guy. Files and listen for media control hotkeys. Carnage. It was like Doom type music. I don't know if I would even call it cyberpunk industrial synth metal. Industrial synth metal. This is definitely an aggressive song.
Skipped Carnage by White Bat Audio. Now playing Achieving Dreams by Arthur Riley.
Maybe I have to reset it. So here, if I come in here, settings, configure that I want to go to music, NvK, now playing, save, replace. Okay. I think, oh, because everything's reloaded. Because everything was reloaded. I don't think it does work.
Dreams. That was far. Now playing Achieving Dreams.
What the fuck? I mean, okay. Like, really? That wasn't working. Is that all it took to get working? Whatever. So now I should have on OBS. There's the now playing. I'll fix those fonts later. But now, if I go to closer, that will disappear because of the rule here that the file will be not null, but the scene will be the closer and the text will go away. So on closer without stopping the stream.
I'm not plus this motherfucking night, bitch.
All right, so that was a test that worked, and I gotta go pick up the kids. I gotta stop the stream while I go pick up the kids. I'm not gonna leave it. I'll be right back while I step out of the house. That's just kind of weird. Dun dun. All right, I'm gonna take off. Weird. I'll work on a way to AI summarize and get some meat out of this. It's not just data that just sits there and occupies space. It's data that some AI outputs action items and to-dos and follow-ups on, and tells me where to go find. It tells me it would tell me in the summary, go to this point and this point and this point and go look for the audio. It tells me how to follow up on my audio stream if I made a note of it in the stream. So I'm going to play with that, and I might even live stream how I do that. So that's what I might do later this afternoon. I think there's going to be no kids around when I get back, but I gotta go. So I'm going to turn this back on and turn on the closer. Yep. And one thing I noticed on the closer is that